You've got it live.
Yeah, it did.
Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us going, passing the folks along the road, just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all the smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
It rains. Oh, it's back through Santos.
1962 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collingwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gunning along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
Yes, people, good evening. Welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again. Tonight is something different. I know it's early, but we've got to talk about this. It's the transfer update show. I've got Tony with us. Good evening, Tony.
Good evening, John. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, man. Just fine. Just a bit of a long day at work. I'm not going to lie. And, so it's just been a tough day, but I've got through it. And how's things for you?
Yeah, not too bad. I've had a day off today, so I've had a day's holiday, so it's been lovely.
Magic stuff. Well, my holidays on Friday week. I'm back up to Newcastle Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Long weekend back on Monday. So things are going really well. So I'm happy about it. So there you go. So guys, if you like the video, like what you see, give it a like, hit the subscribe button as well. If you like the super chats, then just hit the $sign, just give what the channel's worth. And if you like to become a member, it is 99p. So there you go. Just a big shout out from Morgan from Gateshead. Born program the other day, and he's so chuffed. He's a big Newcastle United fan. He's just watching my channel. And Morgan, if you listen to us, mate, from Gateshead, then please enjoy the channel. And we've got plenty of contents to go. So let's read to Chesway. Thank you so much indeed, Chesway. And big up to Leslie. Hope you're okay. Big up to Chesway again. Good evening, John. Totally hope we both had a good day. It's been good today, and but busy as well, Gareth. And big up to Strasbourg from the USA. And what's up, lads? What's up to you, mate? Yeah, it's been a busy day, but look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. So we're going to talk about a transfer show. And I know it's a bit early, but we've got to discuss it. The first one we're going to talk about is Leandro Trossard from Brighton Hove Albion. He has been absolutely fantastic this season, and he's been at the club. This is his 4th season at the club, and he's out of contract at the end of the season. And this guy is absolutely brilliant. He really is. He's a big game player, scores important goals, got a great goal against Chelsea on Saturday, and he'd be out of contract at the end of the season. And if Brandon wants to make some money now, then you have to take the money what's on offer. And Tony, I love this guy a bit. I think this guy is brilliant.
Yes, he's a good player, John. He's 27. This season already, I mean, 12 games, 7 goals, 1 assist, and he's attacking midfielder or a striker, but he's playing on the left wing. So, and he's right-footed, so he's playing as an inverted winger as such. But the lad's had a good start the season, and he's done quite very well. But yeah, I mean, if he's out of contract at the end of the season, but I think we'll not be the only club looking at him, unfortunately. I think there'll be a few others in for him as well, John. So it's a possibility, John. And I suppose we just have to see what happens in January, And can I just go off topic a minute, John? Obviously, I saw the Sky Sports news earlier this afternoon, and I don't know if you've heard it. But the Ukrainian FA have now asked FIFA to kick Iran out of the World Cup over their human rights and the way that they won't let women attend football games. What's your thoughts, John?
That's the first I've heard of it as well. And if that is true to form, then I think the UEFA will make a decision on that sort of thing. That's up to them as well. But I don't know a lot about Iran. if I'm going to be honest with you, I know a couple of Iranians plays football in the German Bundesliga. I know that's a fact. But at the end of the day, one thing I'm going to say, right, if that is true to form, that does look good reading. But I think they left it too late. If they wanted to do that kind of thing, they could have done that at about a good few months ago or during the World Cup qualifier sort of thing. But why come out and do that now? I just don't get it.
Well,
why? Because the World Cup's next month. They done the draw.
It's the first football association to actually come out and say they want them out the World Cup. But there is other people shouting for them to be chucked out as well. Because they're not letting women attend football matches. If a woman tries to even get into a football ground, they're arrested and put in prison. You know, in their that's when they're doing their speeches and things like that protests, they're getting locked up for that. And that's anyway. And Ukraine have said it's bang out of order. And you know, the only way you can stop it is you stop them going to the World Cup. And Ukraine says you let somebody else in that World Cup in place of them. But there's other people have actually come out and said the same as well. So they reckon they may have to have an emergency meeting of FIFA in Switzerland over this because you know, it's thrown the World Cup into turmoil now because they're saying, do you let Ukraine in or do you let somebody else in, like Italy or someone like that? So if Iran get kicked out, the door could be open for another team. But I suppose we just have to wait and see what FIFA come out with. You know, Infantino, see what he's got to say, Gianni Infantino. So I suppose just got to wait on that, but not good. But if I'm honest with you, John, if that's the case, I'm not letting women attend football games, things like that, then I'm sorry. They should be kicked out of the World Cup regardless, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I know Saudi Arabia had things that, well, not that, but years ago there was women couldn't drive in Saudi Arabia. Now they're allowed to drive, but that's totally different. But this is just absolutely beyond the joke, I think.
It sounds like it sounds very picky, like, you know what I mean? But it's crazy, man. It really is. But again, we need to find out what you have to say. In my opinion, I think they left it too late, and World Cup's coming up in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, does look good reading, does this Iran as well, but we'll see what happens on that. But if they get kicked out, who goes in? Could it be, like you said, Ukraine, Italy, or could it be Wales are through anyway? So, or maybe Scotland might have to get that as well.
Yeah, but then surely, John, if they were in, I think, pot 3 or whatever it was of the World Cup, then surely you've got, if you're kicking them out, then you've got to replace them with a team that would have normally been in pot 3. You can't just say, "Oh, put a pot 1 team in there," because that's unfair. It would have to be a pot 3 team. So whoever else would have been a pot 3 team at the time, you look at them, you know. So that could be a Ukraine or someone like that. But yeah. And like Night Gavin says, apparently it's for Iran supplying weapons as well to Russia. So yeah, that's the other part of it as well. But I did hear that was about the women not being allowed into football games as well. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. We're going to keep an eye on that one anyway, and then whatever happens, so we'll sure be breaking news on that. And yeah, we see what FIFA's got to say, but it doesn't look good at all whatsoever. But it's like a mess close to the World Cup. But thanks for that information anyway, mate. I appreciate that. And yeah, go Trosard. I mean, look, for me personally, when I take him, 100%, I think that guy's a brilliant player. He really is. I mean, he can play. He's left-footed, he's both-footed as well. Scored a cracking goal, and it'd be a good price as well. But also, Tony, Chelsea wants him as well because he used to play under Graham Potter, and I think Potter would like to make some changes in January in the transfer window.
Yeah, he would, and I can see the link there. And then he would link up again with Cucurella.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you know, there's going to be other clubs in for him, but it's the sea. You've got to be in it to win it. So why not? Let's have a go. Let's see what we can get. And if we can get him, we get him. If we don't, then we look at other targets. I'm sure we've got plenty of targets lined up.
Absolutely. Totally agree. But we'll be in it anyway, no matter what happens. Yeah, we've got one from Steve there. Mansell, even to you, mate, will be okay. Even John Tony, would you take Ben Gill at left back in January? For me personally, I wouldn't, because he's injury prone. Yes, he's a good player when he's not injury prone, but at the end of the day, right, personally, I mean, we could do another left back. Personally, I mean, Dan Burn's done a cracking job there. But if anything happens to target, if he's going to throw a dummy and say, look, I don't want to be sitting on the bench, I want to move elsewhere with the first team, then we'd definitely look at a left back anyway. But yeah, he'll be another one to consider, I guess. But I think he's happy at Chelsea. But at the same time, Cucurella's in his place and he's going to have to fight for his place. But look, we'll see what happens on. We'll come to him in a bit. Good evening to you, Gary. Hope you're okay, mate. Even to Alan. Hope you're okay, mate. I know what you mean, but I love Mudryk. I should add him. We're going to talk about him as well, and definitely for sure. Trosard could be a good sign, but we'll be looking elsewhere with Maddison and Tillemans as well. Even to Paul, even to Ala Coffey, good even into
Even in.
And
Even in.
lads, even in.
He's got a hard job and he starts tomorrow. On Wednesday.
Yeah, sadly, he has. I mean, he's got a tough job because these players, right, these Villa players are absolute disgrace. Right? They got a lot of money to play for the club, right, get well paid. And if that's the best going to perform, I'll tell you something, they're going to be in big trouble. But they're dead to ship up and shape out, and Emery will knock him in this year. I tell you, they stay up, but I think they'll knock him this year. And that's who would like to see in January, Trosard or Maddison. Me, I take either. I definitely take either. You know what I mean? And Maddison, yes, I think he's a brilliant player. We're going to come on to him in a bit as well because he's on the list. And Trosard, if he's available and Dan Ashworth likes to get him again, then he never know. So he knows about him. He puts in the Brighton. Then, yes, I think he'd be a good acquisition as well, Trosard as well. And he would fit in Newcastle United all day. What's the quickest Newcastle fans going to put us against the owners at the Chelsea game? In my opinion, they ain't fans if they wanted to put it down on things when everything is going good. Tony, I mean, that's been mentioned as well. It's going to be a demonstration. I think it was Samsung one who posted out a tweet to say that they're going to demonstrate against Chelsea game, which I think is absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, I don't see what the point of it is. I just don't see it, John. They're not fans. I'm sorry if that's the case. I mean, do you know what it is, right?
Yeah.
We've protested for about 10 to 12 years over getting rid of Mike Ashley, right? So we wanted rid of him.
Yeah.
You know, we protested to get rid of him, to get change, to get a decent ownership in the club who can help take the club forward and up the table and give us some football to be proud of. We've got that now. But now we've got apparently it's a silent protest, so they're not going to be shouting or chanting or anything because families got the game. They don't want to upset anybody. To me, it's just absolutely ridiculous because we are not owned by the state of Saudi Arabia. We're not owned by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We are owned by PIF, the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, which has been proven as a total separate entity from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. As the Premier League said in their statement, if the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia got involved in the day-to-day run of our club, then there'll be repercussions. So people need to realise that we're a separate fund. We're separate. Our owners are separate from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. But I don't see the point in the protest. I don't know what it's all about. I only caught a bit on Adam Pearson earlier on, and it's just absolutely ridiculous, and I don't see what it's going to achieve because it's not going to make the owners walk away. And I'm sorry, we're just starting to see something special now. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a ridiculous protest, but I just hope. The only thing I do hope for is, John, that when some of our fans are going in and they're protesting, or if we've got some fans who have had a few too many sherbets, then I just hope we don't lower ourselves to their level and have a go at them. Just ignore them, because that's the best thing you can do is walk past them, ignore them as if they're not there, because if you go up to them and start trouble, then it's going to flare up. And then not only that, it's going to make us look bad as a club. So if our fans are going to that game, going to the Chelsea game, and you see them there protesting, do you know what? Just walk past them, ignore them, and just think, you're not fans. You're just a bunch of people who just want to whinge for the sake of whinging. you know. It was approved by the Premier League. It was all sorted out. So as far as I'm concerned, they've done nothing wrong. And like I say, walk past them, ignore them. It's the best way you can do it, because then they're not getting their voice across, because nobody's taking notice of them. And I hope that's what we do.
I totally agree there, man, because at the end of the day, right, look, listen, I mean, we got what we wanted. If they want to play silly buggers, then let them carry on. Let them carry on, because, listen, at the end of the day, I think it's an utter disgrace. So they're not fans. Let them get on. We just get on with what we got to do. Simple as that. It's 39 people watching this tournament so far. Thank you so much indeed. 40 people watching now. Please, please, please give it a like, because it will help my channel improve greatly. Thank you so much indeed, peeps. Like John says, why now? These issues aren't new, but then I don't know anything about geopolitics. That's fair enough, man. But you cannot put that in football into in the same strength as well. Definitely kick it around out no matter. That's a mighty mag. Is it for Iran supplying weapons to Russia? Yeah, something's not going right. Boys, congrats to you and John for your new partner. Thank you so much indeed, Andy. I appreciate that, mate. I tried to reply to them all, but I've got 100 messages. I just can't reply to them all, so I just say thank you so much as well. I really appreciate that. So thanks for your messages, kind messages. I really appreciate that. Share the love you all. Same with the Persuader fans want to protest about ownership. We are 80% owned by an investment fund, not the state. Make complaints to the state. Don't stand inside a football club. Do that, you're not a supporter. Simple as that. We need a right back more than a left back for a back up. What's your cat's name, Tony?
Wesley, but he's gone now.
Wesley. How old is he? How old is he?
He's 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Still lively. He still
runs about as well, yeah.
Wow. Big up. Big up to Wesley. If you do get Trosard and first into Max here, do you think Max will be happy to sit on the bench, being a bit part player? Your thoughts, please. We'd be happy to answer that question for you, mate. For me personally, I don't think he'd be happy. You want to be in the first team, but we are a squad now, Tony. We're a squad, right? You know, we don't have any prima donnas at our football club now. Eddie won't allow that. The orders will not allow that as well. It is a team game, and you know, you get a game, right? You cannot kick on a fuss. You're not playing for Man United or Liverpool, the big six, right? This is Newcastle United. This is a new Newcastle, right? And you've got to earn the right to be in the first 11. It's as simple as that. But competition for places is healthy, and that's the most important thing. I have no problems with Trosard coming in to Newcastle United if that's going to make Alan much better, you know, and keep on his tours, you know what I mean? But for me personally, I think Trosard will be in the midfield three alongside Bruno and Joe Linton if he comes, and then Alan will still get a game, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, the old cliche, the old saying in football is, no player is bigger than the club. So,
right.
Saint Maximin might have been the figurehead in the club when he came in. He was the main man. But now we're starting to get quality around the pitch, all different areas now. Now he's got to realise he's not the main man, and he's now competing to keep his place, because he's now got to realise a couple of bad games or a little stint on the sidelines, and whoever replaces him takes that mantle over and plays well. He's then got to realise he's got to stay on that bench until either a loss of form, a suspension, or an injury to that left-sided player. So he's now got to realise that we're no longer a club where, and I don't mean this anything bad towards St. Maximin, but we're not a club now where we are totally relying on one player. We rely on a collective group. And now we've got this togetherness now in the squad. And I would say if that happened, we had another left winger in and he couldn't get a game and he kicked up a fuss, I think Eddie Howe would say, right, I'll tell you what, there's a door in the summer, off you go. Because you want players who are committed to being there and be ready to come in and do a job if they're needed in. So like, say, for instance, it could be, say, we're playing a game and say the left winger who was in his place, for instance, say if it was Trosard, for instance, who was in his place, he got a booking or something, and then he thought, I'm going to bring him off. Plus, we're like 1-0 down. We'll throw Maxi on with half an hour to go. Maxi might come on, springing. He's got to be ready to spring into life to try and either one, get us an equaliser, or two, help us over the line and win the game. So it's a squad game, unfortunately. When you're in a team that's fighting around the bottom end of the table, you're more of it's more of like putting your best team out. But once we get the strength and depth in the squad, it's going to be like, what team do we put out? Like Man City have got, and that's a great problem to have. But it must be a real headache for Eddie Howe as well.
Absolutely. That's why he gets paid to make difficult decisions, by the way. And that is a great thing as the manager. Even Pep has problems as well, picking the team as well. He's got to get paid for it. So did they argue with him? No, they don't.
No.
Otherwise, he'd be out the door. And he will not allow that at all. So we'll see. I would still love to see Derby in January. That could be a possibility. Fans protesting. Are they Maccas or Chelsea fans? I'm going to have to say that as well. Poker back in the hand that beats you. That's a night. I totally agree. I've stepped down on some Newcastle pajamas with extras. Any tips? I have no idea, man. You're going to need to take to your dad until you step down, man. But I'm sure when you decide to buy in, it'll be absolutely over the moon. So
have a look on the club website store and see if they sell any. I'm not sure if they do. I don't know, but it's not something I've looked for. But have a look. Sell all sorts in the club shops. So have a look online. Go on UFC and have a look and have a look at that store.
Yeah, go online. Newcastle club shop maybe. Just go on online and then hopefully get some joy there. We'll have a look as well for you, Ian. That's no problem. Trying to let you know. Football politics are two different things, correct? Where were the so-called fans of the last year? I totally agree, mate. Totally agree. And the thing is, it's got to take over. Then everyone just jump on the high horse, come out and say, oh, they didn't want to take over. They're still being so salty. It's unbelievable. We've got to talk about it another day on the fans forum again. We're going to have to speak about that. They are not fans. They are liberal disruptors. Cause bother. Ban them from all the games. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. We were fans. Coffee's doing I like coffee there. It's difficult to support Mate Ashley. Big up to Lynn, by the way. Lynn's in a house. Yay! Lynn, you happy, right? Love. Hope you're fantastic. I can't wait to see young and cool. You're absolutely right, Lynn. You got the spelling correct. I think he's going to be a superstar. I tell you what, this guy's going to be something else. This kid has got a lot. So big up to Lynn and big up to Cool as well. Cool, where is he? Where is literally just ripping people off? I hope he goes to the World Cup. I hope he does. I mean, can you see him go to the World Cup? I'll say yes, he will.
Callum Wilson?
No, that guy in Cool, Aussie lad.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Gwan Cool. Yeah, I think he will go to the World Cup, and let's hope. Let's hope we see. Let's hope we see the. But we'll see. We'll see him come on and play a good part for them, but also not only just come on, but hopefully we'll see him start a couple of games. Maybe. I mean, well, I don't know if they'll get out the group or not, the Socceroos as they call ourselves, but I'll certainly tune in and have a look and see how they're doing and see if he's playing. And if he comes on, I'll watch it, and see how he does. But yeah, be nice to see him. But I think he'll go to the World Cup anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, well, where can we play him though? Do you play him on the left, or do you play him on the right, or do you play him as a number 9?
Well, that's the thing, John. I mean,
I don't know where I could play him.
Yeah, I mean, he plays in the midfield, I think, in the middle. But, I mean, to be fair, John, I mean, when you think you take a youngster at the World Cup, these young players want to prove themselves on the big stage. I mean, one of our former strikers who, well, not so great former strikers, I should say, but back in 98 in the World Cup, Mykhailo was 18 when he scored that wonder goal against Argentina in the second round. And, as much as we don't like the guy, you can't take away the fantastic goal he scored. I mean, that was a hell of a goal. We've seen plenty of youngsters going in the World Cup, and they go out there and they just prove a shock. and because teams have never seen them play. So that could be the same with Kwal. Nobody's seen him play, and then he comes on and he boom against a big team. I don't know who Australia's got in that group, if I'm honest, but yeah, I mean, why not give him a go? You see plenty of youngsters going to the World Cup. You always see, and there's always one or two that always shine in the World Cup. So he might be one of them. Who knows? But he's our player, so nobody can touch him. I just think in January, I think the competition in Europe for him is going to be great for taking him on loan. My personal opinion, I think send him to Dutch football because they sort of play similar to the way we play.
Send him to Italy, man. Get him to Italian league for the season.
No, get him to Dutch league. Get him to Ajax or PSV.
Tough him up. Tough him up.
Tough him up. Well, yeah. Or La Liga even, yeah.
Tough them up. Fair enough. He'd definitely get a loan in January. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. You're saying Dutch, I said Italian. You know what I mean? I think exciting league.
But he has to go on loan, John, because we can't get a work permit for him. That's why he's got to go on loan.
He has to. He has to. For that very reason. Big up to you both. Maddison would be a great addition to the squad, but can you see this happening? Well, it's on the borderline. Whether they want to do business with us, we are going to come on to Maddison a bit, Anthony, so don't worry about that. You're going to have our answers in a bit. 100% you there, John. Yet thank you, Gary. How's the Antonio and Derby match kicked off yet? I don't think it's kicked off yet.
I'll tell you.
I'll go through the comments as well. Ken, hope you're well, Ken. I'm great. Hope you are too. For me, Maddison would take us to the next level. I just always liked Prest. I don't think any of us supported the Saudi government, but it's silly. They take it on football. They are invested a lot more than that. That's from Ian. Thank you, Ian. In fact, Toon is a tiny part of the portfolio. They invested billions per week. That's Ian. Thank you, Ian. Sure, they have just spent around 28 billion in investment recently in about 5 different countries, and that's been said about facts neither. And it's I'd be critical that that will literally be used to Saudi-backed companies. It's almost impossible not to take it out on the football. It's silly, exactly. Hypocrites posted about the protest on a platform the Saudis are shared in. Absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. Paul, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is about the Saudis and that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, the thing is, these guys, there could be women as well. So I'll see either men or female, male or female, because I don't know. Now, how do they get their message out there on social media? Oh, hang on. I know, John. They use Facebook. They use probably Instagram. They use Twitter. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, yeah. Don't the Saudis have part of that? Yeah. Aren't they invested in part of Facebook? Yeah. Oh, but we'll still send it out on social media. We'll go and fill our cars up. Oh, hang on. Where does the oil come from? Oh, comes from Saudi Arabia. But that's fine. We need to get there, so we'll have to fill the vehicles up. These people are just bloody muppets, John. They haven't got a bloody clue.
It's an absolute joke, isn't it? You know what I mean? But they got enough now better to see it.
I mean, am I right what I've just said there, John? I mean,
you're absolutely right. You're right, man. You're right, because now it's been said about that. Even the boxing as well, the Formula One, the Super Cup as well, Italian Super Cup as well, the Cup of the Rio as well. And for us, they want to jump on a bandwagon, don't they? Do you know what?
Yeah.
I just tell them to get stuff, right? Don't worry about us. We do our thing, and let's get top 4 next this season, which is quite doable because we defend them well, winning games, and I lost once this season. Got the best defense, by the way. Let that kick in. Do you know what I mean? Tell them to get stuff. That's all I'm going to say on that for the time. And I've got Foxy in the house, people. Andrew Santos, Angela Gabriel, Kenji Perez, Gabigol, all for the price you'd pay for Derby. Gabigol scored another Saturday, winning the Copa Libertadores, 1-0 for Flamengo. They beat Bruno's former club, Athletic Paranaense, I believe, by a goal to nil. And talking off the Brazilian, 18-year-old, we're going to talk about Andrey Santos. He's been linked in Newcastle for quite a while now, right? And he's only 18-year-old, right? Plays for Vasco da Gama in the Brazilian Serie B. And this guy, I mean, you've not watched him. This guy's been absolutely fantastic this season. 18-year-old kid. He's played he played 36 games, scoring 8 goals, and he's also plays in he played in the Brazilian under 16, scoring 2 and 6, and he's also the Brazilian under 20 international as well, scoring 2 in 4 appearances. Now, I've not even watched a clip of this guy on YouTube yet, but apparently this guy is so highly thought of, Tony.
He is, John. I mean, he's only going to get better. And if he's 18, there must be something there that the club have seen and thought, right, okay, if you remember back in the days of Graham Carr, Alan Carr's dad, in the back of the days with Graham Carr, we were always in France scouting for players.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was Carr who broke about the Premier League, and he brought a few duds as well, like Sir Remy Cabella and Tovin,
yeah.
But we did have some gems brought over. I mean, like I say, Kabay came over. I mean, Gouffran wasn't too bad, really, was he?
To be fair, he worked hard for the team. But again, a lot of people say that he's a championship player, but he's not a championship player, right? I mean, his work rate on the Rafa Benitez has been fantastic.
Riviere, well, that was a write-off, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely.
least said about that guy, and I mean, and Younger Mbiwa, I thought he wasn't too bad, Yes, he did have his faults as well, but
done bits of Roma though.
But I wouldn't say it was a total flop.
Nah.
But now we seem to be shopping in the Brazilian market, and the Brazilians always have a great production line of players.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the generation game, Some people are probably saying, what the hell is the generation game? But, that's why I'm seeing a conveyor belt with players on. But yeah, I mean, that's where all the clubs go to for that players. I mean, Bruno came from that production line. Paqueta came from that production line. Some come to Europe, they don't cut it, and they go back to Brazil, and they play like wonder players. But some of them come from Brazil and come into Europe, and they're absolute gold dust, and they're brilliant. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure Steve Nixon's been out there. I'm sure he's been watching them and seeing how these players are developing. So, yeah, you just got to trust the process. And, who would have thought Steve Nixon would have still been chief scout in Newcastle, because, he was one of Mike Ashley's men, and maybe the owners have seen something in him and thought, no, actually, this guy's pretty good. Just under Mike Ashley, he was told not to go looking at the expensive players. He was told to look at the cheaper end of the market. But now we're not shopping in Poundland or Primark no more. We're shopping in Harrods now.
Exactly. Can you imagine, Tony, right, if Mike Ashley still ruled the club, right, and Steve Nixon go up to Mike Ashley and said, we like the Santos guy, sort of thing, and he goes to how much? Quoto Agama at Vasco, 30 million quid. Mike Ashley have a flipping heart attack, I'm telling you. The 18-year-old, 30 million quid, right? I tell you what, that's not even a non-starter, mate, if that happened. I'm telling you. But
it's not, John. I mean, when you think, when Ashley was first at the club, he said, he wanted to get young players in, to get them through the books and things like that. And half of them that came in, it just didn't work. Because I think what he was looking at was, say, for instance, Haris Vukic, the Slovenian lad, he came in as a youngster.
Yeah.
And to be fair, didn't really cut it, if we're honest, John. Maybe didn't get a lot of chances, but he did have a few first team games. Didn't really cut it. But I think what he was probably hoping was, he comes in, he does well. Somebody might say, hang on, there's a £50 million bid. Boom, gone. Let's go and buy another player for, say, £300,000 and get them through the, so that's what they're trying to, that's what he was trying to do, but it never worked. It failed, and trying to bring young players in, and, it just didn't really work with Ashley, because he didn't do it properly. That's why these owners, let's bring in different young players, but it will work with this, because Eddie Howe has got a fantastic coaching team as well. So we should be absolutely spot on. And as I say, we no longer shop in Primark or Poundland or whatever. We now shop in Harrods, John. we're at the top end of the market now, not the bottom end no more. The penny
Totally.
pinching days are finished.
Exactly. Those days are long, long gone. I'm still getting messages, by the way, from me and Julianne, by the way. So thank you very much indeed. Keep them coming in. If people want to support us, they should go to Embassy in London, Christy B, Gary Neville's working for Bain Sponsor World Cup. We are now partnered with the PIF. I bet he still goes. Exactly. He's just resigned, by the way, as the order sold for City, by the way. Desire to invest in Disney, go protest there. Maybe go over there. Yeah. Let's move on. The show Oil. Facebook, we need Alvarez as well. Edson Alvarez, I think it'd be a good acquisition, by the way. I really, really do. Take on the Newcastle just silly. Hi to Andrew. Regarding Sunday's game, Stuart Atwell will referee, but the worry is for me is Mike Nakadine is the head bomber behind the far. Let's hope his input, if any, is well scrutinized. Yeah, I don't trust Mike.
No, but hang on. Actually, no. I mean, actually, to be fair, wasn't Mike Dean our VAR ref against Brentford, wasn't he?
I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure.
Or was it Bournemouth? He was one of them. I think it could have been Bournemouth, could have been Brentford, but I think if it was the Bournemouth, no, it wasn't. Was it the Bournemouth game? I'm sure he wasn't. I'm sure he gave us the penalty against Bournemouth. So might have been. I'll find out where he was, but I'm sure it was that game. But I know he's done a game for us in VAR. And we got the decision for us. So, yeah. So I wouldn't say it's all gone to pot, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I'm you know,
find that first, man. Find that first.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do.
Find that first, man. Go for this. We will talk about Andrew Santos and go detail. Yeah, just like one. Lads, who would like to see out the door in January? People or players are not good enough, yeah, but that's a tough question. It's hard to think now who should be out in January, but obviously Grand Crew will be one of them, out on loan, definitely. Javier Mykhailo, I think he'd be gone in January as well. Let's be honest about that one. He's not good in first team. Jacob Murphy is a possibility. Maybe he's on loan. Matt Longstaff, maybe. I don't know. He's at Colchester. Is he at Colchester? I think he's at Colchester.
Yeah, he's not playing.
He's not. I mean, Chris Ward.
Because he's not good enough.
Nah, Chris Wood can go as well. We have to wait and see. But to Matt Ritchie, I think could be on his way as well. I think he needs to be playing games, you know, and getting game time. And I think, look, there's going to be quite a few players out in January, but we need to get players coming in as well. Lads, got Wood, Mank, maybe it's Lewis out on loan to get some game time. Some Paul. Recent posts today, John, that we've been linked with these players: Aqua Leon, Charles de Ketela from Milan, and Dan Ashworth's destined to get Derby in. On CDK, right, he's at Milan, cost 21 million quid, right? But he's one assist in 15 games, hasn't scored yet, right? But for me personally, he's finding it tough for Milan as well. But in my opinion, I don't think Palomardino will let him go. He will not let him go. He's one for the future of Milan, so we can forget about him, by the way. And that is what's been said in Italy. So if we do not entertain any deals there. Aqua could be gettable, right? But he's been linked with the moves in Spain as well. Betis is one of them as well. And one or two Italian clubs wants looking at him as well. But he definitely wants to get away from Leon, by the way. 750 billion. They know what they are doing better than none of us as well. Trust them and see what happens. ASM needs to be a team player. I just hope he has the same match as everyone else. Now he's not the big fish. That's a Mikey. Very interesting. What was the French kids who left us to go to Leon? He was meant to be some big thing, but didn't think I heard him since. I think that name was Olivier Kemen, if I remember this correctly.
John, just going back to the VAR. Mike Dean was on VAR at the Fulham game when he made the referee go back the monitor and check the red card for Shalabar. So Mike Dean, I knew he was VAR for us in the it was at Fulham, and that's when he got the referee to go back the monitor and check the card again, and give him the red card and send him off.
Right. I know now. Wow. I'll tell you what, he's been good to us, hasn't he? I mean, Mike Dean was referee for us against Brentford last season and sent off Jay De Silva earlier on.
After he got sent to the monitor. Yeah. He missed it, though. He missed it. It was a clear and obvious error, and he was sent to the monitor.
Yeah. And off he goes. There you go. Absolutely. So he's got some lucky omens for us, Mike Dean, in the past. Who was that first year? I think it's Olivia came in. I could be wrong. They aren't looking for second place, be sure of that. As Ian. Foxy, last game of the season, Eternal, 5th versus Vasco, 4th winners gets promoted, losers doesn't. Imagine we get the deal done for Andrey if Vasco lose. I think they don't go up. I think he'll go anyway. We'll know that, but I wish the kid all the best. If anyone wants to see, watch this Andrey Santos game. It's Sunday, 9:30 p.m. UK time. We are no longer shopping in Poundlands, Marks. I agree. Not wrong with the Poundlands. 80 mil Maguire, 3 million Shah. There you go. Who's a better player this season? Fabian Shah. Hands down. Hands down. It's Fulham away. Have you heard any Santiago Munoz, John? He'll be going in January, Mark. Yeah, they're not going to keep him in January. They're going to let him go back to where he came from, and they'll get off in a new deal. And you're probably right, Tony, but he had redeemed himself in Pasmus Demias. Dean isn't keen on the tune. Mike Dean was 3 out against Fulham. Yes, he was. Olivia came in, they asked him, and he had no choice, but he let the other red card go because that's sending off. I think it was only a matter of kids, 2 bad tackles and a few men. There you go, that's some tangy. Yeah, Andrey Santos, I mean, I don't know a lot about him. Would you still take him? 18 years old, 19 in May.
Yeah, John, I mean, you know, if he's good enough, then yeah, why not? I mean, you know, you got, like I've said, I mean, Eddie Howe will just look at his strengths and weaknesses and he'll put everything right. I mean, you know, you just got to look at what he's done to Joe Linton, what he's done to Almiron. You know, he's getting Sean Longstaff back to the way he was under Rafa. He's not quite there yet, but he's getting better in every game. You know, it's, you know, and it's just amazing what Eddie Howe can do to a player. So, yeah, I mean, maybe Eddie Howe's had a look at the player and looked at the stats on this player. And, you know, I'm sure Eddie Howe's done his homework as well. So, yeah, I think, why not?
Absolutely. We'll see on that one as well. I mean, for me, if he does come, what I like to say about Brazilian players, I like to see him come in the Premier League early and not when they're 27, 28, because Tim Vickery, the South American football experts, come out and said that if you're going to buy a Brazilian, it's better to get them in early and not later on in their career. Look at Gaboso, Gabigol, you know, plays for Flamengo. He played for Inter Milan and unsettled there, went to Benfica, didn't do much better, but look, he was young. But if he went to Europe now, I think he'd do a good job. Do you know what I mean? I think he'd do a sort of thing. So you got to give the lad a chance. He's 26, 27 now. And if he gets a move to the Premier League, I think he'd do a good job. I really do. And some of the Brazilian League games are sometimes on BBC iPlayer. I'll probably check out that. Came to go to Leon, but didn't last long. Now playing in Turkey with Kayaspor. And Sean was a beast against Villa. Yes, there you go. So let's move on to the most talk about James Maddison. He'd be the next one on the list. And he's been linked to us for quite a while now. He's got a market value of 45 million quid, right? He's got 18 months left on his contract, right? So if Leicester make some money, now's the time to do it. Because at the end of the day, right, I mean, the guy's ambitious. He's having a fantastic season. And for me, this one's going to be 50-50. But well, Leicester City, let sell us as well. Because do they really want to do business with us? Now we've got the money. And everyone wants to take James Maddison. Can he make it to Newcastle? Or do you think he go elsewhere, mate?
I mean, I think we'll still get him, John. But whether we get him in January, that's the thing. All depends how much we offer Villa. I can't see how they're going to get 45 million from him in January when he's got 18 months left on his deal. I would say maybe 35 million and then they've got a deal. But I wouldn't have thought 45 because we offered that back in the summer and that was knocked back. There's no way they're going to get that in January because his value is depreciating less and less his contract runs down. So if they didn't sell him in January, his value will depreciate more because in the summer he'll only have 12 months left on his contract. So it's a bit of a gamble, but Leicester's got to think, what do we do? Do we keep him, but he's not going to sign a new deal, or do we cash in now and get 35 million for him at least? Out of that, they've got to pay Norwich as well 15% back because there's a sell-on clause for Norwich, and it's got to be paid, and it's got to be paid back to Norwich in one lump sum. They can't pay it back in installments to Norwich. So
wow.
So they've got to weigh up the option of how much they want to sell him for. But I can see why they wanted 60 million. Because that makes sense then back in the summer, because that would mean 15 million goes to Norwich and 45 million goes to Leicester. But they're going to get less than that now. And I think Norwich fans were probably hoping in the summer, or even the football club in Norwich, they were probably hoping in the summer that the fans, that Leicester would sell Maddison, so they got someone in that club. But that didn't happen. But it's a strange one. It's a one to watch, that's for sure. If we got him in January, I'd be absolutely buzzing.
Same here. I mean, I can hear myself. Is your phone on, Tony? I think it's mine, then. I think it's mine.
It's not my phone, no. Mine's on silent anyway.
Fair enough. Same with mine as well. Don't know what's happened there, but
it's as far as I can see, John, it's St James's Park. It's still 0-0 at the moment in the Tyne-and-Wear derby.
Let's hope the long young Ben's stuff, and by the way, I hope they do.
I hope there's a big crowd there tonight as well. That'd be great.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Charge them back £1, and then I can guarantee you that the kids will love that. But big up to Newcastle. Let's hope we do them tonight. Smash them.
Yeah.
Smash them. Mike Dean was determined to help Liverpool catch up. That's just my suspicious mind. If anyone's planning holiday soon, we'll give away a free beach towel if you spend £60 or more. Thank you for that information, Paul. And absolutely beast. Andrey Santos on the side to Jude Bellingham can defend well, confident in possession, demands the ball, scores. For 18-year-old lad, the carry the Stars club like fast score is massive. You know what? Even Barcelona, PSG want him as well. But we need to get this kid. I think if we do get him, I think he has to be in the first team, 100%. 100%. And Feetal, okay, and in just like earphones, I'm hearing more. Yeah, I know. I think it's something doing me headphones as well. I do apologise. Yeah, so James Maddison, look, at the end of the day, right? I mean, he's been in the club for a while, right? This is his 5th season at the club, and he's given them great service as well. And I think I like this guy. You're fitting well. Again, you put him in the midfield 3 alongside Joelin and Bruno. That would be a strong midfield. I mean, this guy gives you everything. He gives you goals, he gives you pace. His pass on the ball will be amazing as well. And I think if we get him, I think the whole press will be buzzing. I mean, he's English, he's young, and it'll just get better and better. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be playing in the World Cup.
Well, you'd love to see that he goes to the World Cup, but do you know what? I can't see Southgate taking on the World Cup. And in some ways, I would like to see him not go to the World Cup, because he could go to the World Cup, have a great tournament, and then Leicester could bung the price right up. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if he will go to the World Cup or not. I'm really not sure. It all depends on Gareth Southgate. I'm not sure when the squad's been announced for the World Cup. It'll be very soon, because I think there's not long till go now. So, I don't know. I don't think he'll go to the World Cup, if I'm honest, John. But I think if he comes to us, he might even improve more as a player. I mean, yes, he's a great player at the minute in Leicester, but you know, as I keep saying, if you think about Eddie Howe and what he does for the team, again, let's see where he takes it. But I mean, Eddie Howe could take his game to another level that he's never been to before. So who knows? I mean, yes, I would love Maddison to go to the World Cup because of his creativity. It's probably better than Mason Mount, if I'm honest. But we know Southgate has his favourites, unfortunately. And we know Maguire will be going to the World Cup. That's a knock-in bet.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I mean, look, at the end of the day, right? I mean, I know people in the chat are saying that it could be off to Spurs, deals already in place. Because they 1 year left on his contract, taking a gamble, Leicester doing it again. I would love to see Maddison at the Toon, though I dislike him playing for the Foxes. It's highly unlikely that Tielemans will leave for the Toon, but you never know. I think, for me personally, I think if Tielemans is going to leave, I think he'll probably go to a club in Europe where I don't know. I see Maddison joining in the summer, 40 to 50 mil. Remember, and it's a good point, by the way, Chelsea signed Sterling for 51 mil with 1 year left on his contract. I think Leicester will be looking for the same as well. Probably getting 50 million, 1 year left on his contract. So if Foxy is correct, then that's going to be very, very tough. Maddison's going to Tottenham. Agreement already in place. We can do better. If that's been confirmed, and I'm not sure it's anything confirmed yet, then as far as I'm concerned, he's still a Leicester player. But I just cannot see that's been confirmed between Leicester and Tottenham. But if he goes to Tottenham, right, then he's got to learn the tactical way under Antonio Conte.
Well, I've not seen that. I've not seen that one, either. John. I mean, to be fair, but back in the summer, Maddison said he wanted to come here, so he prefers Newcastle. Maybe he does prefer Newcastle. I'm not being funny, but
yeah,
could Conte kill his game? I'm not being funny. Where at least if he comes to Newcastle, he can express his game a lot more. And like I say, Eddie Howe may take him to another level he's never been to before either.
Exactly. And will he get in front for Højbjerg? Will he get in Bentancur? Will he get in place of Basuma as well? I doubt it very much. And I think he's not getting much game time at Tottenham anyway. It's as simple as that. It's Unai Emery saying that SOS to come home. I tell you what, he should never come to Villa anyway. Let's be real. Evening, John. Big up to you, Jordan. Jordan, please hit the subscribe button, my guy. That would be fantastic if you did. But thank you so much indeed. Jordan, I hope you're okay, mate. I hope you're having a lovely day. I would pick Maddison over Mount any day. I should learn how to say good evening in Morse code. Maddison is still attacking for Southgate. He put him right back. Absolutely. Even this with the left backs, and what's the bet? Neither Bruno Target end up going. I would not be surprised if they don't get hit, by the way. My only issue is Maddison. He drifts in and out of games too often. When he's on it, he's lethal. But on occasions, you wouldn't remember him playing. Maddison's class, don't be silly. What you got to say about that, mate? Just like Maxito is all good as well. That's important as well. So, yeah, we've got a quick one about Mudryk as well. Of course, Adam in the list as well. This guy's brilliant, you know what I mean? He's rated, market value, it's got to be 50 million from this guy. I mean, Sulu, the Croatian legendary right backs, come out and said that if you want to buy this guy, you're going to have to pay the premium. And Shakhtar Donetsk do not need to sell. But 50 million might just tempt him away from the Ukraine club. Now, that to be very, very interesting. Well, as you can see, you've got one here from, as in Felix and Mudryk to Man City. Pep might not be happy with Grealish. And 100 mil from Mudryk is way too much. Absolutely, man. But they want between, I say 50 million could be realistic.
Yeah.
I'd take him. This guy is absolutely rapid. He's quick. And I'll tell you what, he's so direct. And I'll tell you what, his ball ability, his skill factor is absolutely incredible, man.
Yeah, this John. I mean, you know, he's not a bad player at all. And
yeah.
He would fit in well in our club with Project Youth, as we keep saying. But I mean, the guy's nowhere near his, he's just nowhere near his peak at the minute. So he's got time to grow. You know, I think he's 21, 22. So yeah,
21.
Yeah, the guy's rapid. He's got pace, and it's what you need as well. And I'm sure he'd ruffle a few feathers in the Premier League, that's for sure. If the fee's 50 million, go out and get him. I would say just go and get him. Bring him in. Give Shakhtar Donetsk a deal that they can't turn down.
Absolutely. And we could do that, no problem at all whatsoever. Excuse me. He's been linked to Arsenal as well. And I don't think he's been linked to any European clubs as well. So, look, I think this guy is going to be so exciting. And if he can cope with the physical demands of the Premier League, then I think this guy is going to be absolutely superb. And I think it's going to be so exciting as well. 55 million for rumoured fee. And we'd love Mudryk, but they wanted 100 million. Man City and stock deal, Grealish for Almiron. Well, I keep on Almiron, to be fair. Well, what they want and what they get is two very different things. For me, right, I mean, I rate this guy. I think he's going to be absolutely brilliant. Do you know what I mean? And if you can get him, then where would that leave ASM? Excuse me, I don't know. But it's a team game. It's competition for places as well. No one ain't bigger than the club.
Hey, John,
happy.
if we're going for Mudryk, what? I mean, I don't think it'll be 100 million, because I think they're probably just saying that just to put people off. That's all that is. There'll be a price, and it won't be 100 million.
Definitely.
If they want 50, if it's 50 million, I would say, well, I'll tell you what, we'll give you 30 million, and you can take either Jacob Murphy or Ryan Fraser.
Yeah. I don't think the fans want to go to Ukraine, by the way. I really don't. But it's good. That'd be brilliant, though. That'd be the transfer of the century we can get either those two to go to Ukraine sort of thing. But they'll make a lot of money, by the way. But I don't think it's safe to go there just yet.
I don't think they're playing in Ukraine anyway. I think they're playing in Poland at the minute, Donetsk.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, they're all playing in Poland at the moment, yeah.
I mean, that stadium is absolutely beautiful, and now it's all dismantled. Absolutely dismantled. Sad, man. But I hope you get used in very, very soon, and when it's safe to do so. My bet is Conte will leave Tottenham for Juve in the summer. That I will not be surprised on that one at all whatsoever. I will not be surprised. And I don't think Poch can return to Tottenham called I Like Coffee. For example, Southgate's went to watch Leicester live against Palace early Saturday game was a big opportunity to impress, but he was poor and ended up getting suspended for diving. What an absolute mop. He doesn't need to do that, by the way. He doesn't need to do that. Yeah, just Poch could be going to Tottenham. Conte has the best wing in the Premier League. We love Maddison playing for England, but I think he's missed his chance now, sadly. And Mansell's come out and say there's going to be a huge amount of competition. Mudryk, 100 million euros. They want, so we have to smash transfer record and smash the wage limit to get him in. Wage ain't going to be a problem for this kid, let's be real, but it'd be very interesting. And do you think Botman has doubled his value? He's not lost a game yet, and definitely one of the best centre backs in the league. How about in the world, Paul? How about in the world? We ran out of orders for this guy, and it's not even breaking sweat.
No, he's not, John. I mean, he's one of the best centre halves in Europe, that's for sure, John. I mean, I think before we can actually call him world class, he's got to play a lot for international as well, hasn't he? So, but you know, I don't think he look out of place in the Dutch international side, the full national side, not just the under 21s. But this guy's amazing, and he, you know, what a bargain! The 35 million, it's looking.
Yeah. And you know what it is, right? It's watching him. Right? Can you remember, like, I see some great Italian defenders like Paolo Maldini, Claudio Gentile, right? I see some great defenders playing, obviously. This guy, I tell you what, he's so calm, so cool on the ball as well. And not many people take him on yet. Harry Kane tried, couldn't get near him. He didn't fancy him at all whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? So he went up having share. But I tell you one thing, right? He's going to be here for a long, long time, let me tell you, because we are going places. And if we defend properly and defend, then the top four, and I'm not being funny, right? People might laugh at us, right? But I think the way we're playing, I think we're going to be okay. And
yeah,
and let's have a look at this one as well. Botman's a monster. Wilson did opposite. Southgate watches live and Wilson scored twice. He'll probably go World Cup off the back of that. I hope that's the case, but I don't think he'll be a starter. And remember, a certain person in the chat saying Botman would be fourth choice. For me, right? I mean, in my opinion, right? I don't think he'd be playing in the first team. Excuse me. I think Lewis Van Gaal's got his back three sorted, no doubt about it. But Sven Botman would definitely in the World Cup, but it would have to be as a sub-suspension. That's good enough for us, you know what I mean? If he doesn't play in the World Cup, cool, that's fine. That'd benefit us, you know what I mean? And it'd be amazing. Botman and Bruno has been the best players in the Premier League this year. I have to go early on that. And Botman worth is 120 million now. It's got to be. He's got to be. I mean, look, even Chelsea want to buy Bruno for 45 million quid. 45 million quid, I said it yesterday. 45 million quid were just for his bleach hair. It's as
How
simple
stupid.
as 45 million quid. Oh, come on, are we? Even Fabrizio Romano's come on and said that Chelsea are definitely wanting him. They definitely want him, right? I tell you what, they're gonna have to probably have to sell the stadium if they want to get Bruno. I'm telling you, let's be real, because there's no way I will sell him to another Premier League club. Not in a million year. I'm telling you, Tony, it ain't gonna happen. No way.
No, not a chance. We're not a selling club no more.
We're not. But what they're doing, Tony, they're trying to unsettle our club, unsettle us, right? Because they want to test us, right? They are trying to unsettle one of our best players, right? And the only way to stop this, he signs a new deal. He signs a new deal, 200k a week, and sign a new deal up until 2028, right? And that way, right, they can back off him. Simple as that. They won't afford him. They will not afford Bruno. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody can afford Bruno.
Nah.
Not even Real Madrid.
Nah, they can't afford him. No way. And even that Didi Hammans come on and said that, forget about signing Declan Rice, he'll go for someone like Joe Linton. And he come out and he said, I'll read this out for you, right? He thinks it's a full package, right? He's got physical presence. A player like him will suit Liverpool down the ground. He also added, I think a player of his quality in January is near enough impossible. That should have been done in the summer. So he's basically saying that Joe Linton should have been bought in the summer, yeah? But I tell you what, his number's not going to go. He's not going anywhere, Tony. There's no chance. He's got 3 years left on his contract. Simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, why would we want to sell Joe Linton? I mean, he's, Eddie Howe's turned him into a brilliant midfielder. And he scored the other day in front of the Brazilian manager as well. Or good audition, I suppose. But yeah, why would we want to sell him after all the work Eddie Howe's put into getting him to where he is, And would you see Joe Linton go to Liverpool? I don't think so, because I think he sees what's happening here.
Yeah.
I mean, look what he did the other day. There was some fans from North Denmark came over. He took the flag off them, went into the dressing room, got every player in the dressing room to sign this flag for them.
Yeah.
And then they went up to his house, waiting to see him come to his driveway. And then he posed for photographs with him as well. What a nice guy he really is, isn't he?
He is. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And you know what? We're in control. We're in position there to keep top players. Bruno's turned unreal. Real, so I wouldn't worry about Chelsea. I'm not mentioning any names, but it rhymes with Roxy Music, perhaps. Botman will be 4th choice by Holland. I've said that as well. Chelsea can have Richie 45 million quid. Botman needs to continue his form. Has a few sloppy moments early on in games, but Shearer has perfect form at the minute. I was spot on about Eddie retaining at the back line, though he's already done it. I have to agree with you, Fox, you're correct there, 100%. Just can jog on. And Liverpool skint. That's why Klopp keeps twisting. Do you know what? I hope we finish above them this. Are we 8 points in front of Liverpool? 8 points in front of them. Oh, they got a game in hand. And still be 5 points behind. Do you know what I mean? I tell you what, though, they're not going to win the title this season. They are done. They are done. And you know what? They're going to come to us yet, and we'll beat them as well. And I hope we smash them, by the way, for what they've done to us.
I hope we'll show Mr. Teeth how it's done.
Yes. And we did say, and you did say, we're coming. The juggernaut's coming. Liverpool's found out. Spurs has found out. We beat them as well. And
absolutely.
Let's keep going. Right, I think I'm going to wrap up on that one too. We've gone through the players as well. So, and if you do like the video, like we see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. If you like the super chat, just click on the $sign. If you like to become a member, the link's on there, 99p as well. And Tony, where can you find you on the socials, mate?
Yeah, so you can find me down there. At Tony31. Give me a follow and I'll follow you back. There it is. That way. There we go.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and also you can find me on It's All Black and White TV, my new channel that's been going for a week and a bit now. We'll be live there at 8:05 tonight. With John will be on there with me as well, and I'm doing a transfer show on there, but we'll have some different players I'll be looking at on that show. So, so please come and tune in and have a look, and give us a like and a subscribe if you like what you see. But yeah, 8:05 on It's All Black and White TV, and me and John will be on there going through some different players, because I've actually got some different players up my sleeve as well, John, which will surprise you.
Absolutely. And then I'll look at that as well. Go through these comments as well. Liverpool just kind of compete. Klopp spent the transfer money on his teeth. Impossible. That's at Ian. Let's Chelsea sign Chris for 45 million quid. Liverpool's always poached our players like Enrique, Cal, and Ronaldo. I would love if Liverpool end up in the bottom three, lads. It'd be nice with it. Run of Wolves to take Wood. What's your channel, Tony? I mean, Paul's just been trying to find it, mate. It's all black and white TV, right?
Yeah, it's all black and white with an N. I'll just stick it in the chat for him, and then
cool.
There we are. Should be come. There you are. It's in the chat now.
There you go. It's all black and white TV. I'll put that back up again in a bit. Bye. I like coffee. See you in a bit. Would it be if you could, but you cannot? I eat lads like to Ashton, mate. Hope you're fine. I don't think. I love that. It's the Newcastle fault Liverpool are doing so badly. Well, I tell you what, Liverpool's getting found out. We're after them. We're after these teams, you know. Because the end of the day, right? I mean,
I did tell you we were coming.
You did. We all did. And people laughed at us, right? And now they're laughing. We're laughing. They're not laughing. Simple as that. So
I mean,
it is what
I did say to a few fans. Well, no, I think it was last year. I put a tweet out saying that we were coming, and we're going to completely take over the Big Six eventually. And I got a few. I must admit, I did get a few DMs at the time with threats off of the fans.
Really?
You know, and yeah, and I just laughed at them, John. I just thought, yeah, whatever, pathetic. I mean, I had things like, oh well, you know, we hope you don't get anywhere near us, and you know, some of it was a bit violent, John, and it wasn't very nice. But you know what? I just thought, you know what? They're all mouth, no action. Simple as, John.
I just block him, mate. Block him and just block and move
absolutely.
on. Block and move on, Tony. Because at the end of the day, right? The end of the day, just so salty. Some fans, Tony, they really are, and they just don't like the fact that we're doing so well. Do you know what I mean? But in about 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 years time, they're going to respect us. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
If you want to hate us more, if you want to hate us, cry some more. Cry some more. Liverpool, Man U, Chelsea. Hope they keep losing games. And that's from Ashton Tootin. I subscribe to Tony's channel. Thank you, Foxy, for that, mate.
Thanks, Foxy, mate.
Klopp laughed at us after the 19 winner. Who's laughing? You karma gets ya. Karma gets ya. Thank you for that, Paul. So on Tony's channel, do you hear the rumble? The Geordies are coming, and this time we have 750 billion behind us. Correct. Yes, correct. Bip, bap, bosh, baby. Coppish time wasn't working when Leeds were the beat.
Yeah, that's what I said to you, John. When I was on the train, I kept looking at the thing at the sky, because it was pointless trying to watch it on the train, because when you're going through certain different counties and that, you know, the network drops, so, and you can't watch it through Wi-Fi. So
yeah,
and then I was like, come on, Liverpool, surely the 6 minutes is up, and it went into 7 minutes. I thought, oh, come on, for God's sake. And I thought, yeah, I bet they've held the other board up until Liverpool score.
Big up. That's the way it is, man. I mean, it was just like when he scored that goal, I watched it with Julianne, and I'll tell you what, I was laughing. Absolutely loved it. Big up to Does
she like football, John, by the way?
She does. I mean, she likes Newcastle. And she don't go to matches, but hopefully one day I'm going to take her to a game. I'm going to treat her to the FA Cup game. If we're at home, then I'll treat her to that. So that's what
you got to take her, John, to a game to sample the atmosphere.
I will. Even the FA Cup will be amazing. You know what I mean? The Premier League is unreachable, but the cup games, cool. So I'll definitely be doing that 100%.
Half time, John. Newcastle United 1, Scumberland 0. Joe White.
Yes. Absolutely. Big up. Newcastle, go on, young lads. How we done smash them, eh? And
go on.
Smash them. There you go. Brilliant stuff. Just a few comments before we go as you get prepared to your channel. I do not know why other fans here says always like City for what they're doing. Exactly. And just drop you a sub. It's 20 last night.
Thank you very much.
Big up. They did add a time on Leeds one as well. I'm sure trying to wait for Liverpool to score. That wouldn't surprise us. It's Julianne watching John's channel. She knows about it. And she will be. So she had a alert then. She thinks I'm great on it. London, is it under 21 or something? Yep, it is. The phone making a noise because it's too close to the speaker of the mic. I don't know what it is. I need to get that sorted out, sort of thing. So I got to come out and start a game. And one last thing as well from Foxy. I got abused by my own fan base on Twitter for defending Biggie. Say they've come good this season. They're all quiet now. Do you know what it is? They give it all that. But when it comes down to it, they don't apologize. Yeah. There's a last right called I think I can't remember. Is that Chloe? She's 18. She told us to shut up, right? Saying because I was speaking the truth, right? And I put her in a flipping place, right? And then a couple weeks later, she apologized to us through DM, saying I was correct, sort of thing. And I've not said that since I told you. I don't flip and flop. I says how it is. Now she's
absolutely, John.
She's expecting us now, so there you go. And a couple of tweets they kind of compete. What a shame. Exactly. On that bombshell, guys, going to wrap up. You know what to do. I'll be back tomorrow for the Premier League roundup as well. I mean, Macy's still on holiday. And until then, guys, thanks so much for joining. And join on somebody's channel. Until then, it's a goodbye.
Goodbye.